But this is how I discovered that what I say is not important. What is important is what you hear. But this is how I discovered that what I say is not important. What is important is what you hear. For many years, for about 25 years, I was in on national television. When we started, we didn't have the equipment, so I used to hire the equipment from Nairobi, and I come from a place called Nakuru. So these guys would come on Sunday morning. They would fix their cameras. They would turn the lights on, and I would see the red light on the camera. They would tell me, "You are on." I would stand there when beginning the program and say, "This is the day that the Lord has made for us to rejoice and be glad in it." That was my opening statement. On this particular Sunday, they have set the equipment. We have done the worship. It's now time to invite the pastor. And I am standing there. I have the mic and I look at the mic and they say, "You are on." I say, "This is the day that the Lord has made." Then I forgot what comes next. And quickly I said, "For you and I to be happy and to rejoice in it." And as soon as I said that, the accuser of the brethren was sitting right on my shoulder, whispering to my ears and saying, "Shame on you, Pastor Mark. How can you misquote a scripture like that on a Sunday morning? Shame on you. Are you going to preach?" And I am fighting, saying, "Get thee behind me, Satan. I'm going to preach. Get thee behind me, Satan. I'm going to preach." And he is saying, "Shame on you." How many of you know that the battle is always here? The battle is always here. So I'm fighting and I am preaching at the same time. And I finished my message. And they took the program. They went with the program to Nairobi. On the following Sunday, it was on air. They aired the program. And I sat in my office and I watched myself misquoting a scripture on national television. And you think he had left. He was still here. He was still here saying, "Shame on you, Pastor Mark. How can you misquote a scripture on national television?" In those days, there were no cell phones. So people used to write letters. So the program went on air on Sunday. On Thursday, I received a letter. And I opened the letter and it said, "Dear Pastor Mark, I want to thank you for your TV program and the messages that you preach, especially last Sunday's message. More so, the very first words that you said. And this is how you said, 'This is the day that the Lord has made for you and I to be happy, that we may rejoice in it.' And this young man said, 'As soon as you said those words, a weight that had been sitting on me for a long time was rolled away. And I gave my life to Jesus.' Oh man, that lifted me up. That made me know that what I say is not important. But what you hear is most important. Why? Because faith comes by hearing.